Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to Darts Review channel. In this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the items that were sent to me from Shot Darts for their summer launch, which is today. Now I'll give you a quick preview of everything that I've got, and then hopefully sometime as the weeks go by I'll be doing a little bit more in-depth reviews, but I'll put some information up of everything I've got. There's some new flights, there's new points, there's a few new player darts, there's a very nice new tribal weapon barrel, and there's also a dart that's part of the collab series, and they've collabed with a certain very popular social media darts influencer, and I think you'll know from his catchphrase. Now, what was his catchphrase again? Oh, I forgot what it was now. Hardly there. No, that's not it. Difficult here. No, that's not it. And I thought it was dead easy to remember. That's it, easy. Easy when? No. Forget it. I just can't remember what it is. Let's check them out. Right, so first of all, I'll just quickly show you what I got. I think these are called, is it a koozie? It's just like a drinks holder, like a thermal type thing. And it's on the floor now. So they've got some new points. There's the rocket and scallop. So I'll give you a close look at them just now, but I'm just quickly going through them as they're in the packaging. And there's some new flight deck shape. We got a kite shape now, and they're in various sizes and colours. Again, I'll talk a little bit more when I show you the close-up. And there's quite a few new sets of barrels, so I'll just give you a quick close look and then I'll get them out of the box and give you a better close look. So we got Nicole Regnaud, I think that's how you say it, Renegade, and that looks a kind of a slightly bulbous style shape. And we've got an American player here. I think he's an up-and-coming American player, Jake Womack, and quite a colourful sticker on that one. And that looks quite a nice barrel, but we'll get him out the box and give you a better look in a minute. And we've got another Barbora Hospodarska barrel, and I quite like the one that she had before, and that one looks a rather nice one again. And we've got some new Bradley Brooks Bam Bam darts, and that looks a kind of a straight barrel with a taper. And we've got a very nice looking new tribal weapon, the Toki. That looks like it's got an interesting shape as well. And like I mentioned, we've got the Charlie Murphy collab darts. Now, Shot have been doing collab with various shops and people, and they've obviously done a collab with Charlie Murphy because he's done really well with his social media channels, TikTok and YouTube and everything. So very popular guy, Madhouse Murphy. So I'll get them all out of the boxes now and give you a better close look. Right, so although you've seen I had 3 packets of points, 2 of them were the same. So we've got the rocket, which is the cone shape, and I'll put some information up on the screen. Oh, that's my thumb. I stupidly trapped it in a pair of pliers. It was very painful. What did you do that for, you idiot? Because I'm an idiot. But there's the shape of the cone, and it's got like a little bit of grip there on the cone. So if you like to hold your fingers close to the barrel nose, then that gives you a nice bit of grip, but also the taper helps it to run smoothly over the incoming darts and flights and what have you. So I'll put some details up on the screen. And this one is the scallop. Now, they've both got a little bit of grip on them, but they're not like excessively grippy or anything, just enough to give you a nice little bit of finger placement and stop your finger from slipping. That one might actually be a good one, that, with that little scallop there. Definitely for people that like to rest the finger on a little bit of grip. So that's the 2 points that I've got, the scallop and the rocket. Right, I've already done an in-depth review of the flight deck flights before, so I'll just give you a quick look at these. This is the new kite shape, and they're available in the solid white, solid black and the clear. Three sizes. You've got the short, in between and the medium. I'm sure they'll come out with more colours in time. And it's your typical moulded flight system, but as you can see on the clear one, it's got like a black centre, and that's like a carbon rod. And also they have a slight rotation effect. It's not like a massive loose rotation, but it's just very slight, and obviously that will help. If you get a heavy impact, it will just rotate the dart a little bit, but these ones actually feel a little bit stiffer than the previous ones, so whether they need to be worked in a little bit, I don't know. But that is basically that on the flights. Like I say, I've already done a full review of them before. So we've got the Charlie Murphy darts here. So this is from the collab with Shot and Charlie Murphy, and as you can see, it's a slightly front weighted style barrel. You've got these etched points, which got these like kind of like chevron etches on there, you can see, and it's got a shiny red PCT coating in the grooves there, and that kind of like glints in the light, but we all know green's the best colour, of course. And as you can see, it's got a tapered profile to the front of the barrel, and then a kind of parallel section, and then it tapers to the rear. And according to the info I've got, it's in 23 gram only, and only in steel tip, and the barrel is 46mm long and 7.2mm at the widest, and it's got grip pretty much the full length. There's sections where it feels a little bit more grippy, mainly these very thin ring cut sections with the lateral cuts. They just feel a little bit more grippy, but that section around there, it's got a decent bit of grip, and then the rear. And I think anyone who likes a front weighted style, it kind of fits in the fingers nice from the rear, but I suspect it's going to be quite nicely balanced there, so quite looking forward to trying them. And fitted with the Tau carbon stems, and you've got the Charlie Murphy flights. So there you go, that's the Charlie Murphy Madhouse Murphy darts, and they retail for £74.95. So next we've got the Nicole Regnaud, I think that's how you say it, and she's the #1 female darts player in New Zealand, so it's nice that Shot are sponsoring the home players here. And this is like another front weighted style. You've got a tapered nose there, and then it kind of like a bulbous section, and then almost like a subtle kind of a scallop, and then maybe just have another check. I'm not sure if there's a slight flare to the rear there, so maybe a slight taper as it gets to the rear. But we've got a mix of ring and groove grip, so it's got lateral cuts again, so the lateral cuts kind of add a little bit more grippiness to it, but most of the barrel is just like a normal mix of ring and groove, but that rear section on the end is like a shark style grip, so if you look closely you can see, so that's definitely the grippiest part there. I don't know how the player holds it, but I'm suspecting that she must hold it there. But this is the kind of barrel that, because of the shape it is, it may sit into people's fingers nicely there. Now sometimes, being a front gripper, depending on where I hold it myself, sometimes I kind of get that rocky kind of a feeling with darts like this, but I think holding it there, that's probably going to be the sweet spot for the balance. So there could be a little bit of something there for most players, and these are going to retail for £69.95, and they're in 23 gram only, 47mm, 7.3 at the widest. So again, fitted with the Tau carbon stems and the Shot Pro Series small standard 100 micron flights, slightly see-through. So there you go, that's that one. Right, so next we've got the US player Jake Womack, and this is a really nice looking colour. It's a copper titanium colour, and again quite a nice profile to the dart. It's got a tapered front and then pretty much parallel after that, but it really looks great with that shiny coppery colour, and I think the little cuts are enhancing the shininess a little bit when it gets the light reflecting off it. The front section here where I'm holding it, it's tapered, but it's got this like mini shark style grip, so good level of grip on that, and it actually feels rather nice. But as I've mentioned before, sometimes I don't get on with holding a taper, but obviously I don't think that's how it's meant to be held. I think it's probably meant for finger positioning and maybe holding it around there. And the rest of the barrel is mostly made up of thin rings and slightly wider rings, and you've got these quite long lateral cuts running through it. Got a dreaded smooth section at the end, so if anybody likes to grip right at the end and you like grip, then you might be out of luck there, but anywhere else and I think you'll be fine. These are going to retail for, what was the price of these, £74.95, and again 23 gram only, 52mm long and 6.6mm wide. That's just the stuff sticking on it from the box, and again fitted with the Tau carbon stems and the 100 micron small standard Pro Series shot flights. So there you go, that's the Jake Womack darts. Next we've got the Barbora Hospodarska 2.0 darts, and this is a fairly long straight barrel dart, so it should work well for most people. You've got a tapered nose and it's got that kind of like pink PCT coating in the grooves. It's pretty much a ring grip style, just again varying widths of rings, and you've got a little bit of the laser etching on these sections here, so that just kind of has like a slightly, I would say like a kind of a powdery feel because of the etching, and it just adds a little bit of dryness to it. But how long that lasts is probably not going to be very long, but it just adds a little bit of extra touch to it. And again, a simple style of dart, but one that is probably going to be a good all-rounder I think for many, and often the kind of barrel that many find effective. Just a subtle amount of grip, I think, not overly grippy, kind of around that medium level, almost like the Goldilocks zone kind of barrel. And again fitted with the Tau carbon stems, and you've got the Barbora flights, which I can't remember what the nickname was for her, but it was something to do with the flowers. I did mention it in the other review that I did on the first darts, but I think I remember it actually done quite well with their first darts when I was doing one of the challenges, from what I remember. And these retail for £69.95. Again, they're only in 23 gram and only steel tip. They're 51mm long and 6.6mm wide. So there you go, that's the Barbora Hospodarska. So next I've got the Bradley Brooks Bam Bam darts generation 2, and this is like a missile style shape. You got a tapered front there and then parallel, but this rear section, it's almost like, it feels like these sections are slightly thinner in terms of the barrel thickness, and those rings that are slightly wider feel as if they're protruding a little bit, so I think that's just giving you a little bit of extra grippiness there. But you've got grip pretty much the full length of the barrel again, and it's quite grippy around that section because of the lateral cuts. Once again though, it's made of mostly like thin rings and lateral cuts, and it goes right pretty much to the taper of the nose there. So I think no matter where you hold it, you're going to get some of the grip, but it might be best in terms of the feel for the rear grippers, and obviously that's like how the player throws it from there. But I suspect they're going to be quite nice for mid grippers there too. And once again, these are fitted with the Tau carbon stems, and they come with the Bam Bam Bradley Brooks small standard 100 micron flights, and these are available in 3 weights. You've got 23, 24 and 26 gram. Again, I think it's steel tip only, and this particular one is the 23 gram, and these ones are 52mm long and 6.9 at the widest, and the darts will be retailing for £54.95. Right, so finally we've got the tribal weapon Toki, and the tribal weapon's been quite a popular series for shot and some really very grippy barrels, and this one is no exception. As you can see on the taper there, it's got the telescopic shark style grip with the V lateral cuts, and definitely grippy there. So it's a high level grip, and actually it feels rather good, that. You know, sometimes you get that kind of like sensation in your fingers when you're pressing it, and it just feels kind of nice. And that's how that feels there. Let's see if I can get it a bit close look for you. But you can see it's a little bit more pronounced than your standard shark style grip, but rather nice overall. And then as you got onto the rear section, it's a scallop section, but it's got these kind of like layered rings. So again, I've got a decent bit of grip on there. So I should imagine as well for some rear grippers that'll probably sit nicely in the fingers. But for mid grippers, you're kind of like in between there. So I guess it depends on where you go. You might just be okay moving up a little bit there, but it may feel a little bit strange like holding it fully on that knuckle kind of section, but who knows, it may be fine for some mid grippers. But looking at the dart, I think maybe rear grippers are probably going to get the best out of it, but I don't see why some front grippers won't like it as well. And again, they're fitted with the Tau carbon stems, and you've got the Toki designed small standard 100 micron flights. Now these will be in soft tip and steel tip. Steel tip 23 gram, which is this weight, 24, 26 and 28, and soft tip 20 and 22 gram. This particular one, 23 gram, is 49 mil long, 7.5 mil at the widest, and these will retail for a very reasonable £54.95. So that's the Toki. Okie dokie. So there you go, that's the preview of the new shot launch. As usual, you have some really nice darts, and they've done a nice collab with Charlie there. It's a pity I couldn't remember his catchphrase. I thought it would have been easy now after doing all that, and I thought it would have jogged my memory, but I just can't remember what it was. Maybe I'll remember it next time. So that's the end of this video. Look out for some more slightly in-depth reviews of all the products that I've just previewed. I don't know when that'll be, probably in the coming weeks. I'll do my best to get it fitted in as soon as I can. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Happy darting.